Well, we're talking about finding the slope of the secant line, and what I did was I went ahead and plugged in x plus delta x down here in the bottom to kind of show you what's happening here. Remember, this was y2 minus y1 over x of 2 minus x of 1, so that's what you might be more familiar with finding the slope of the line when you're given 2 points. But anyway, what happens here is x plus delta x minus x. As you can see here, the x's cancel out, and so we're just left with delta x. So this is the formula right here that we're going to use to find the slope of the secant line, and m is usually known as the slope, and I've got a subscript here as secant. But what we're going to really want to do is find the slope of the tangent line, but we're going to first use this and then introduce the limit. Okay, so we want to find this time the slope of the tangent line, and it's equal to this notation here, f prime of x, little prime sign right there, call it prime. I remember when I first seen that, I was like, what the heck is that? Is that a 1? But it's just a little prime. We call that a prime. Okay, it's equal to the limit as delta x approaches 0. Now remember, back up in that graph I was telling you, remember, as delta x gets smaller and smaller and smaller, right, the secant line approaches the tangent line. And so remember, this was the formula for finding the slope of the secant line, but now we're going to use this idea of the limit to actually find the slope of the tangent line. And here's some examples down here. Okay, so I've got some examples of what a tangent line is. Now, this line right here, I'd say it's purple, but it may not be purple on YouTube or whatever, but this line here is passing through this point and this point on the graph. So this line is a secant line. Okay, this is the secant line. But let's say this line right here, this is known as the tangent line. Now you notice it's kind of touching here at just one point on the graph. So that is a tangent line. This line right here is also called the tangent line, right, at this particular point. Now this is kind of a special one here. Notice that this line right here, this tangent line here, it has a slope of, well, it should be 0. Okay, it's totally horizontal. So it has a slope of 0, and that kind of tells you where the maximum point is, right? The highest point on this curve right here. And that's something that we're going to talk about later. And so anyway, so this has got a positive slope, this line here. Now here's another tangent line, and it has negative slope. And remember, we read our graphs from left to right, So if I'm reading the graph from left to right, you can see that this has positive slope. That means that the graph right here is increasing. And because this slope here is negative, right, that means at this point here that the graph is decreasing. Remember, we're reading these graphs from left to right. So at this point here it's decreasing, and then tangent line here would be 0. And then tangent line, let's say right here, would be positive, so it'd be increasing, and so forth. And all these things that I'm saying is things we're going to be talking about over and over again later.